The Visionary Voices podcast is a student-led project created for educational and experimental purposes only. It is intended to encourage dialogue, empower peers, and provide entertainment. The content should not be taken as professional advice. The participants are not experts in the topics discussed. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of Central Texas College or Net Impact headquarters.
Ha. Hey, hi, hello, how are you? We'd like to welcome y'all here today. Today is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. And let me introduce to you my starring cast. Yes, to my right, Wonder Woman herself, Miss Nakia Phillips.
Hey guys.
And to my left, Lady Z, Lady Starfire.
Hey everyone.
And on the ones and twos, we got Superman himself, Mr. Donald Sturkey.
Dark Clock in the house, y'all.
And my man running the cameras, Mr. Batman himself, Kenyon Bats. And we are Visionary Voices, the #1 podcast on the Central Texas campus. Right?
What's up?
And part of the number one organization in the nation. In the nation.
Nation.
Net Impact. All right. So how y'all doing this Thursday afternoon?
I am doing great. I had
doing good.
I had a cup of coffee and I'm energized.
Cup of coffee.
Turned up. That's
Ready to run through the roof, huh?
Code for turned
All right. So guess what we're talking about today, people? We're talking again about the national debt.
When we were doing interviews the other day for the Viva Less Debt event, which is to raise awareness about national debt for Up to Us, we asked a couple people questions about national debt, and some people didn't know. They were asking, like, just in this country. So that made me think that they didn't know what national meant.
Whoa.
So do you guys have a definition for national, or should I get into it?
National should
So we can break
you
it
want an
down.
actual definition, or do you
Yeah.
want me to? You want me to just kind of fly off the top of the head?
Yeah, just fly
and
off
say
top
what
of the head.
I think national includes all 50 states in the United States of America.
exactly.
Nationwide.
National.
All 50 states.
National means a
Nation-
whole country.
Yes.
Nationwide is on your side, except for the debt. Except for the debt.
So,
It's not on our side.
Devil's advocate.
Ooh, it is
Are there
not on our
50
side at
states?
all.
There are 50 states, and then we have 3 territories:
how
Puerto
many
Rico,
territories?
Guam, and Virgin Islands.
talk that talk.
America and Samoa, right? And
American Samoa. I wouldn't call them a territory. They might come get you.
Samoa? I mean, my bad. My bad.
Step on Samoan land.
Don't
My
be a
bad, Usos.
colonizer.
My bad, Usos. I don't want no smoke.
You're going to become a deficit.
No.
That's my new
I'm in
slang.
deficit instead of debt. I don't want
Don't
none of
step
that,
on their
man.
land.
I don't want none of that.
The views expressed in this show.
All right. Make sure y'all read the disclaimer. All right. Make sure y'all read the disclaimer. Hey, so first, let me give a shout out to KNCT, CTC Radio, Nest FM 91.3. We appreciate y'all for letting us come on y'all airwaves, you know? So we're going to talk about national debt, which is, we discussed last time, right? It was 37.5 trillion and rising, right?
Yep.
All right. So today we're going to kind of go over what debt and deficit is. So what's the difference between a deficit and a debt?
May I answer? Well,
Go ahead. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Well, debt is pretty much cut and dry for anyone who struggles most financially. The debt is a total amount of money that someone owes that represents the amalgamation of past deficiencies minus surplus. In other words, it's just basically money you owe. While deficit is the annual difference between spending and revenue. In other words, it's spending more money than you are receiving.
Ooh, get in depth. Yeah.
that talk.
Talk that talk. Yeah.
That's that Starfire right there. You heard?
And
not
stop
good
by
with
learning,
some things.
people.
All right. So that's the difference between debt and deficit. So let me ask you a question. Let's go here. I got it.
Ooh, that touchscreen.
Oh yeah, you know it's funny. I had this computer for a year, and I just
didn't
realized
know?
it was touch screen.
I used to have a computer touch screen. Now I just have a regular laptop.
Me when I moved and I realized that my bathroom mirror opened like 2 years after we moved. Like, that's where that medicine went. Mom, why didn't you tell me?
So, how does the national debt affect average Americans? Right.
National debt can affect your average American in so many different ways. It can affect inflation. It can affect us in the sense of not having resources to fund things like Medicare or food services, or just making sure that our citizens have a good well-being, for lack of better words. So
Right.
food, health, and
Quality of life.
quality of life.
Yeah.
And education.
Shelter. Education as well.
All right.
And then it also can affect us in the sense of loans and credit and being a homeowner, being a car owner. So basically every aspect of life is affected by national debt in America, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Well, wrong. What? Just playing. I had to see the reaction. It's beautiful.
Did you get your reaction?
Wait, no, did y'all? I hope the cameras got y'all reaction because that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
I've
I'm
never
joking with
heard
you.
that
I'm
in my
sorry.
life.
Sorry.
Always trolling. This guy always
But-
trolling.
Yes, I am. Yes. But y'all right. Y'all right. And everything. Now, higher, like for instance, the definition for what they put up here though, Google, yes, says
Google.
national debt affects average Americans by leading to higher interest rates, which make loans more expensive for homes, cars, and potentially causes slower wage growth and higher prices for goods and services. A large growing national debt can also crowd out investment in future infrastructure and essential programs and may reduce government spending flexibility to address crises,
Exactly.
such as
Ahora.
all the stuff we got going on now, right?
I said it in Spanish. I said now.
Now,
and
Ahora.
ahora.
and funny, and there are actually 3 causes to reason why national debt is rising. One of them is the aging population, rising of healthcare costs, and the rising of interest costs, along with the tax system not designed to collect money to fund other promises that the government make.
What was that first one?
Pretty much the old aging population.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all blaming it on old people. It ain't my fault.
No, that's according to Peter G. Peterson Foundation. Not
There you
me.
go.
Not me.
I like that. That's what I'm
That's a
talking
good
about.
foundation.
That's the place to look for the information that you're looking for. And I appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much, Starfire.
Tell Peter he gonna stop blaming us old folks. We ain't did that.
Listen,
Also, if we bring it down to like the meat and bones, deficit or debt is just spending what we don't have. So honestly, it's just about the supply and demand. If you go back into American history, we were taught to just supply, and the demand would come until we got to our first recession. And then they were like, okay, the demand is not there. And then that's when our president at the time tried to make more demand and create more jobs for people.
you know who that president was? Offhand?
It was Hoover
Okay.
at the time.
Talk that talk.
Guys, I love history. And I'm
Yes.
taking macroeconomics at the time, so that right now. So I actually heard about this yesterday in class. So no source, just straight from Professor Septi. Where was I going? with
Macaroni
that?
economics.
Excuse me,
Yes.
guys. But I say that to say that it can be fixed by more of a demand in the economy. So creating more jobs
word?
for all types of American citizens.
Okay,
Excellent.
so does anybody here plan on being business owners?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to.
All right, good. That's what I like to hear. So for businesses may face higher borrowing costs or find less capital available for investment, which can slow economic growth and wage increases. Do y'all think that's like part of the problem we're having now? Why we don't have a lot of businesses that are flourishing, like especially in our area?
Yes and no. Because according to, again, Peter G. Peterson, while businesses definitely do spend a lot more money than they give, so yes, you are right, but it's also that they are not being given the amount of money they are owed to by the government.
So they're not flourishing because the government. I guess you're saying the government is not holding it up.
Well,
Careful
maybe-
How you say it. Careful how you say it. Let her say what she's saying.
I'm trying to figure it out. Just trying to figure it out.
I think maybe it's not just the government. Maybe it's that the people are not paying paying well enough. So while we like to always blame the government and everything, it's also the people that are and the businesses that don't pay their
Fair share.
fair share. Yes,
Oh, I was going to say fair share. That's what I was going to say.
that he beat you to it.
A lot of businesses do fail because they don't study the market that they're going into.
Yes, they-
I was just talking about this with my aunt yesterday. There's a TikToker whose whole TikTok is surrounded about being a 9-to-5 man, and then he quit to be an influencer and lost all of his followers. And it's like, because you have a certain niche. We talked about this in economics. It's called like product elasticity, and how much your demand can change depending on what changes the person makes. If Kylie Jenner wakes up and say like she doesn't like to wear makeup, but she has this whole brand that's about heavy makeup, what do you think people are gonna do? So also that is a big portion of it. I feel like especially in Texas or for business owners, because most businesses do fail, unfortunately.
yeah.
If you change your niche, they'll stone you.
Study,
Come
study,
after you.
study.
Study.
And this is off topic. And this is off topic, but I just do not. I'll never understand why anyone would want to take the 9-to-5 job. It's like really great. It's like, I'm just,
grinding.
who
I could tell
has
you.
the energy for that?
I can tell you why.
But I'm-
Because we're in a society where we're taught to work more than anything. If you don't work, and you hear it all the time, you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't work, you don't deserve this. So we're taught to work. When we become a certain age,
The more you know.
we parents tell their kids, first thing I did, go get a job. You're taught to work. But it to me, in my opinion, it's starting to turn a little bit. More like y'all generation, the Gen Zs, power to y'all more in the business realm of it. Y'all more want your own. I want this. I don't want to work for nobody else. I want this. I like it.
And they're also quick to leave said job when they
Yeah.
don't get treated correctly, which is
Quick.
different from
Absolutely.
us.
That's what
I
I
was
was
looking for a job when I found this when I'm out.
That's what I was going with that, because there are people like, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I also have a dream to work in corporate marketing, which would be a 9-to-5, just to get the experience and work in those areas. So people do have a want to work a 9-to-5. I just think people are more vocal about their boundaries in those 9-to-5s, because the culture was very corrupt until people started standing up.
True.
True.
Talk that talk. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear, so that we're clear on where this episode was going and how we got where we are now. So we're talking about debt versus deficit, and just so that people understand that debt is what you incur, is what you owe, right? And the deficit is the difference between what you're bringing in versus what's going out, correct? So as we apply that to the world in which we live right now, we want to make sure that everybody understands that nobody wants to spend more than what they're actually making. Even though we live in a world where you're trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, and you find yourself spending 50 cents when you're only making 15 cents.
Right.
That is the kind of the situation that we're in when we're talking about the deficit in which we're experiencing in the world right now with our national debt issues. That right now, like I said, we're up to, what is it, $1.5 billion a day that we're paying in interest, not against the principal, which is $37.5 trillion. So it's important that
Big
we
money.
we all kind of get that deeply embedded into our mind when we're talking about, the debt versus deficit. What does that mean? How does it affect people, and how we can put it into very simply layman's terms. And it's like, you do not want to be spending more money than you're making.
Right. And for me, the way I broke it down is that a debt is accumulation of deficits
Yes.
over time. So
Right.
Much.
a debt will not be for 1 year. It's the accumulation of multiple years of producing at a loss, for lack of better words.
I love that.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's so smart.
Definitely.
That's why she's the Wonder Woman.
maybe-
yo.
Wonder
Well,
Woman.
and I have an example. Like, I'm just gonna give I'm not gonna say it like that. A dumbed down example. Say, but just like to
Deficit for Dummies by Starfire.
but to say that I borrowed. Say that. Have you guys been to the library? We've all been to the library. Say that I borrow Say that I borrow 5 books from the library, but I only return 3 because I don't know reasons. I lost them.
Reasons.
And that means if I don't, and I only returned the 3 books on their due date, but not the 2. That means I'm fine. I'm fine. That would technically count as a deficit. But imagine if I kept accidentally doing that over and over again, the two books that I don't return are the deficit, but the amount of times I keep doing it, that would lead me to be in debt.
Correct.
So a deficit can lead to a debt.
And I love that example because most of the time at the library, if you have those two books that you have to return, they're not going to let you take more out. But in America, they just keep raising that cap to allow us to keep taking things out, even though we owe.
I mean, allegedly, I've heard people, who may have taken out books in, like 1992 and never took them back, allegedly. And, they might have a few $1,000s that they may owe in library fees. I mean, allegedly. And, said library might have gone out of business and then those books just end up in their personal libraries. Allegedly. I don't know if that's true. But
that happened in my
however,
house.
that was a perfect example of, being indebted to a library and, said library couldn't, they couldn't incur those fees and couldn't, recoup that money.
Wow.
And, they went out of business. But, allegedly. That may have happened and could have happened, in the why am I looking at
What
you
a
like that?
Let me find
perfect
out
example.
let me find out somebody got
Let
bad
me
credit
hook
because
up-
of library books. Let me
Let me
find
do
out.
some research on these New York
Let me
libraries.
find out. I can't get this new house because
Books
I owe,
in the Bronx
because
was
I still
shut
owe
down
two
because of
Dr.
Donald
Seuss books.
Sturkey.
How does that work?
Allegedly.
I still owe 2 Dr. Seuss books, so I can't get that new truck I wanted.
You know what? I wish we had another camera right now because if you could have seen Batman's
Oh,
face in
big
the corner,
red.
y'all.
He said,
Holy moly. The judgment and the laughter coming from the corner was too much to take.
So let's talk about economic impact.
Do
All
that.
right, which we know is a thing, right? Inflation. National debt and inflation. A large national debt can contribute to higher prices for everyday goods and services because businesses might invest less in technology that make production cheaper.
I'm sorry, repeat that.
A large national debt can contribute to higher prices for everyday goods and services because businesses might invest less in technologies that make production cheaper. Are we seeing that now? Allegedly?
Yes. And labor is also more expensive because it's the housing thing and then inflation with food and product. So there's also a little bit of a scarcity thing going on with labor in our country at the moment.
Very much so.
That affects the economic.
What about stagnant wages?
The opinions and
And what
ideas expressed on the Visionary
stagnant
Voices
wages
podcast.
meaning stagnant wages meaning like not growing your wages as you stay at a job.
Businesses may be less likely to hire or give raises due to higher costs or reduced profits, which can lead to slower wage growth for employees.
So I mean,
100%.
allegedly, as the national average or the national
GDP?
minimum wage does not go up while inflation continues to rise, which means that the price of incoming goods cost more money. It's harder for a company to justify hiring people if they cannot pay them because it's going to cost them more to bring in their goods that they need. And if they already have people on the payroll, it's just going to cost more money. And if by some chance that, prices do go up, just saying, if by some chance that people's pay does go up, that could create an even wider gap as to who's getting paid or who's getting hired and why not. Allegedly, the opinions and ideas expressed by Donald Sturkey is of his own and has nothing to do with CTC or Net Impact.
But that causes a lot of people to lose their jobs or not get jobs, right? Of course.
It's true.
We have to put power in the hands of people who care. Next.
Allegedly, yeah. So
In theory.
also, reduced public spending and investment due to national debt and deficit.
Well, one, again, I'm in macroeconomics, so we do go over some of the stocks, and most of them are plummeting right now. American business is not doing Gucci, but That is probably why people are, one, pulling out, and then two, now you have to worry about paying your mortgage and your car and other more important financial stressors than investing. Investing is a privilege, in my opinion.
What was
The devil's advocate has stepped in the room.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen,
leave your horns at the door.
depending on what your stock is, would determine as to whether or not it is rising and or falling at the current time, because
course.
there are certain stocks right now that are doing quite well. So it depends on what you're putting your money into and whether or not you have maybe some insight or, some sort of knowledge or some forethought as to what might actually be going up at this time. Like if I were to say, I don't know, if I owned some housing and people were losing their jobs and being kicked out, and I knew that the price was rising, interest rates were rising, me buying a bunch of properties that people are not living in, if I were on the outside and I would had money to invest, I would invest in those companies that are buying up those properties, because when the price does come down, that would be a boon for those people.
Yeah.
Just saying. Or
I understand that there's definitely not all stocks are bad. SoFi stock went up like $4 in one day. But
just saying.
Does that have to
A
do with
lot of
borrowing
the-
costs? With the stock market? Does that have to do with
Well,
borrowing costs?
That's a good question.
Not really, because when we're talking about borrowing, unless we're talking specifically about bank stock, bank stock may or may not fluctuate depending on who is borrowing from the banks and the amount of money that they're giving out, that they're lending out, and to whom they're lending it to when it comes to their particular stock. But by large, most companies that are investing in places, or most funds that are, largely owned by, companies, and companies who put everybody's money into one particular fund, that's not affected by borrowing and or lending at all. What that really determines on is how much money is being pumped into the particular stock market in general. And that's mainly done by a lot of high cap funds and investment companies. So they've got the money to burn, because guess what? They're getting it from you. It's coming out of your check every single week. So that's kind of how that works.
That's how that works.
Yeah. So whether or not you can borrow or lend, whether you're being lent to or whether you can, get from the bank, has zero to do with whether or not the stocks are going up. However, what would be determined, or what is being, determined at that moment, is what stocks are being put into. I don't know, if you're unpopular, like some companies might turn out to be around these times, your stock might plummet. If people don't like you, your stock might plummet, and then that could be an issue. Huh? Who said that? What?
someone over here.
Just saying, things change depending on how some investors feel, and that changes how stocks either go up or go down. So it's opinion. It's an opinion-based thing, and it's kind of like, I don't know, a form of gambling, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah,
It really
I was-
is.
that's-
It
that's
is.
what
It is
popped
called
up in my head.
speculation.
It sound
It is
like
called
roulette.
speculation. Yeah. So they're speculating as to whether or not something is going to look good in the future, whether that be today, tomorrow,
to
or 10
drink
minutes from
milk,
now.
y'all.
Because definitely when you was explaining it, I was
I'm
definitely
pain.
thinking, huh? You okay?
Sorry.
I was definitely thinking roulette when you said it.
I have joint
Hey,
pains.
hey, hey! Always been on black.
Always been
Next thing.
stagnant.
However, comma.
However, comma. All right, so we went over economic impact. So, okay, reduce public spending and investment. Less investment in public services. A growing debt can reduce funds available for important government investments, infrastructure, education, and other essential public services. True or false?
Like cancer research.
Is that considered investment?
Not
I'll say it is.
investment. I'm
I think
sorry.
it is.
No,
because
I'm
you gotta
saying
put
like
money into it.
No, I'm saying like because
I'll
of
say it
what's going on in the country right now, cancer research isn't being funded. I'm
What?
sorry. I should have said that in a better way.
And the plot thickens, people.
Yeah, it did. I saw that this morning.
Even
too.
with pathogens, they're only testing for 2 of them now, even though all the other ones are so harmful. They just can't afford to test all this food for multiple pathogens anymore.
pathogens.
Oh my God.
Ooh,
I mean,
that's one.
That's
So
York
education, is
Times
it
said.
affecting? Do y'all see it affecting education?
Yes.
In what?
Well,
what area?
not personally, no. But, however,
comma.
it's being cut for, I feel like, more people that are going into master programs. It's probably being cut for us as well, but I haven't had that experience, so I'm going to speak from what I know.
It hasn't trickled down yet.
In my experience,
that's
it
because
could
your class
have.
is already paid for.
Anyway. In masters,
Let's see what
like a
happens
lot of
during that
people.
second round.
Next year. Round 2.
See what happens during spring. We all gonna be sitting outside going, please, can I get my money?
Can you pull the
Allegedly.
curtain back? I can't see the board.
Allegedly. I would be speculating if I said that I knew that was the truth.
I'm just, that makes me sad.
It is. I mean, it's troubling. It could be.
Definitely concerning.
Did I mention I love
But
America?
education is being affected as well on
Yes.
certain platforms. Some people can't get into schools that they would normally be, or they're not scholarships. I don't want to speak 100% from social media, but I've saw a couple of stories on TikTok of women who, one of them couldn't afford to go to Emory for her master's, I think. And then the other, she was fresh out of high school, got a full ride to Howard, but couldn't afford to go there.
What about the strain on? Okay, this can get kind of touchy. All right, y'all ready? Strain on social programs.
So, I actually read something about this on again Peer G. Pearson, but apparently social programs don't get funded a lot when it comes to this national debt, like Medicare, Social Security, and Social Security, and
Those are the main two right there.
Medicare.
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Forgive me, but yes, Medicare, infrastructure, and Social Security. Those are like the 3 things and social programs that don't get funded. That are at risk of not getting funded.
There you go, at risk.
Yes,
At
I was
risk.
going to say, because the second most funded thing of the debt is Social
Social
Security.
Security.
Yeah.
National debt is number 1. I'm not national. National defense is number 1.
National defense.
Oh, defense. Yes, that too.
However, we want to make sure that we understand that national defense is very important.
Highly
Yeah,
necessary.
So-
100%.
Very
Definitely.
We are
Especially here
one
in
of the
Brazil.
greatest nations. We have a constant target on our back. At least that's what they want to
It's
say.
hard living in the richest, most wonderful country in the world. America is great. We want to make sure that we understand that.
Yep. Everybody wants to be on top. That's all it is.
That's
Everybody
all.
wants to be on
That's all.
top.
I'm gonna knock the guy down sitting on the top of the hill. We get that. This has been super, super illuminating. You guys are so well educated, and I appreciate y'all going out and doing your research. And, we want to give a big shout out to Dr. Clemens for giving us this wonderful topic to discuss.
Oh yeah.
It's always fun talking to y'all. Brings a tear to my eyes sometimes.
This guy is emotional.
I get a little worked up. Please, sir, Mr. Joker, check us out.
All right. So, y'all ready for it? Did you know?
What? No.
You didn't know? You didn't know?
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
know either. But you know what?
I don't know who knows.
One of the
know.
biggest facts, allegedly, about the national debt is economic instability. Reduced flexibility. A large debt can limit the government's ability to respond effectively to economic downturns, natural disasters, and other national emergencies.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
All right. One more fun fact for y'all. One more. Risk of fiscal crisis. That's the main one.
Can you elaborate?
If the national debt becomes unsustainable,
Mm-hmm.
it can increase the risk of fiscal crisis, where investors demand much higher interest rates to buy U.S. debt.
That's crazy.
So if the U.S. is selling their debt to, say, I don't know, China, allegedly, China can ask for higher interest rates. And America has to say, okay, hypothetically, because they're the one that needs to sell the debt.
Wow, that's crazy.
All right?
You don't have the upper hand anymore.
At that moment,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I mean, what's really crazy is that, at the time of this recording, we're kind of going through something really strange in America that we seem to be going through every once in a while because of our inability to balance our economic budget, allegedly. Here in America, we seem to be going through right now, we're having a government shutdown. And, we all hope that we can come together as a cohesive American unit and figure out our problems and sign some sort of bill or a pledge. There you go. A pledge to one another in order to keep our government from shutting down, in a completely bipartisan way. Like, I don't really want to think about it's any one person or any one party's fault or at all. It does essentially fall into the hands of, they say it trickles down from the top.
Right.
It's about leadership. But, I'm just going to say that overall, everybody kind of needs to come together, you know what I mean? Come together so that we can, get past these issues as one nation.
United nation.
United nation. Imagine that.
Imagine.
But that's a beautiful thing. And I just wanted to say that, I know we're about to wrap this up, but, I think that was important that we point that out, that at this time, we are going through some things, and we can only get through it together. And I think we should hope that everyone, wants to reach out to each other and make sure that we're all making a pledge to try to change things in some way, kind of like our Up to Us program that we have right now. It's a big deal. It's important that we influence and we educate people about what's happening with our national debt and how it affects each and every person that's listening and that's in this room, and that we understand and we pay attention to the things that are happening in our world so that we can want to make a positive change and move forward. That's really all I got. I appreciate you.
Yes.
For the people, from the people,
By the people,
by the people,
all that.
all of that. We need to stand up for our country, especially this.
And we need to stand up. And not
This
just
new
stand up, we need to
generation.
educate ourselves.
Absolutely.
Because
ignorance is bliss.
ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is
Ignorance?
ignorance is damaging.
100%.
What was that? He pushed that button.
What?
She said, no, I just like
She
how
dropped
she
the
kept,
gem.
no, ignorance is not bliss. No, it is not fun to not know. It worked better for me. I thought it did till I found out. Now I know I'm in debt.
And my dad taught me the less you know, the less you are aware, and the less you can achieve.
That part.
There it is.
Talk that talk, Starfire.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we had fun today, and we hope you have fun too. Hey, shout. Yes, English, my bad. But I'm not taking it till next semester. Shout out to KNCT, CTC Radio, Nest FM 91.3. Shout out to Dr. Clemens. It's up to us. All right. We are Net Impact. Not only that, we are Visionary Voices, the #1 podcast in the world. And we are out of here.
Bye,
Thank
y'all.
you. Bye.
We're going to get
Net
some
Impact.
smoke effects. Batman, where your smoke at? You throw the smoke so we can do the